Hello, everyone. This is my third, maybe fourth attempt to record this. I need to get out of the way right now. I wanted to do this video for two reasons. One, to celebrate the halfway point for Dragon May Cry. If you guys read the most recent chapter, you know this is me confirming that we're in the halfway point. We're halfway done. I originally planned about 100 chapters for this series. It might go up to 120, but that's the highest I'm going to push it. Mostly due to three things. One, I'm running out of couples to ship. Which means, yeah, the bonus chapters, I'll still keep them going, but I don't think I'll be building them around the idea of that every single time. What I love most about these bonus chapters is not the smut that you guys get, but the extra diatribes I get to put into these chapters. These extra bits. There's a reason why these chapters are often near 4,000 words each. Because it allows me to, rather than just write a scene and post a chapter, it allows me to fully unload all my ideas, not just what you guys want from me, but also what I want to do with the story. And no, I don't like writing. You guys know by now I don't like writing sex, okay? I write it purely for the ratings, but there's more to these chapters than just the sex. There is extra details, plot points, and so on. To get what I mean, let's go back and look over each chapter, okay? Got a message. Nice timing. Yeah, yes. I'm reading that message right now, dude. I'll answer you in a minute. Okay, but let's go over each bonus chapter. Ignoring the bits that you guys like and the bits I really don't care for. Bonus chapter 1 is about exploring Spike's first ever transformation, okay? And the costly effects that has on his mind. I do need to go back and tweak a little things here and there, but otherwise, that's perfect chapter, okay? My problem with that chapter, I was a bit hesitant on revealing everything from the get-go based on his transformations, because I always had this idea in my head of how it was working from day one. I just didn't know if I wanted to tell you guys from day one how it was working. Why these transformations are happening. That's why I'm very vague on the transformation itself happening in this first bonus chapter, okay? It just happened off screen, and now Rarity's covered in scars. Then we go into bonus chapter 2. Can't remember what was this one about. I need to read it real quick. Oh, yeah. That was just me giving you guys something fun. I knew that readers from the get-go were wanting to ship Amber and Spike because that's the classic dragon ship. But I knew from the get-go I didn't want to do that at all as the main ship. I didn't want Amber in the role of Lady and Mary. I didn't want that at all because she's not that kind of character. Yes, she's an angry character in general, and Lady has always been an angry character. But Amber is a leader. Amber is a royalty. Let me. Damn it. Why is every time I do this video, I've got intense gas? Excuse me. Anyway. Amber is royalty. Amber is a leader. None of this stuff is Lady, okay? Lady always felt like second, okay? She always felt second to Dante, second to Trish, second to all of them. This is not a diss on Lady in general, but she always felt like a lieutenant in the battles rather than the lead. So I had to make it Smolder no matter what. And really, when it comes down to it, the Smolder and Spike ship is one I barely touch at all, okay? It's not even close to my top 10, okay? So I thought, if I'm going to do this story, I'm going to explore a ship I barely care about at all. I don't hate this ship. It's not Sweetie Belle and Spike. I absolutely hate Sweetie Belle and Spike. That is the worst ship for me. Period. I've explained multiple times why I absolutely despise that ship. And it comes down to one simple factor. Sweetie Belle is not Rarity. She is not a younger Rarity. She is not the diet Rarity. Every single thought you guys put to her being shorter Rarity is stupid, because the show goes out of its way to say she is not Rarity. You can pull this stunt with Apple Bloom. Apple Bloom is a smaller Applejack. That is the joke. But Sweetie Belle is not a smaller Rarity. She is everything Rarity is not. And Rarity is everything Sweetie Belle is not. Because they're proper sisters. They're not clones of each other. Now, yes, I have written the idea where they're like in a mother-daughter role. I got no problem with that. And I've written the idea where they're rivals to each other, trying to kill each other. I've done that in multiple kinds of stories, some that have been released, some that haven't been released. But these two are not the same fucking person, but smaller. And that's why I hate the Spike Sweetie Belle ships so fucking much. There are 1,000 better options for him than just smaller Rarity. Because that's all you fucking bastards write for Sweetie Belle, is just smaller Rarity. You don't write Sweetie Belle as the actual character she is in the show. Heck, even when they're not trying to ship her with Spike, I still find writers go out of their way to just write Sweetie Belle as Rarity Diet. And that's just a disservice to Sweetie Belle in general, okay? There's so much you could do with her. And I do actually have a story, a one-shot, that will be tackling that directly. I don't know when it'll be released, probably during the Sweetie Belle Marathon. I still plan to do one. Just not one I'm rushing to do because, again, I don't care for the ship. It is my most hated ship. But anyway, back to what I was saying on Dragon May Cry. I'm getting sidetracked too much. Act 2's bonus chapter was purely fluff for fluff's sakes, but also to establish a casualness between Ember and Spike in that... they're casual for each other, and that's how I kind of always saw their relationship. Not anything explicit, but rather they're best friends, and if you want to write it where they have benefits, go for it. That's your choice. I just always saw them as best friends. Anyway, then we go on to the bonus chapter 3. What was bonus chapter 3? Bonus chapter 3 is definitely one of the longer chapters I've done, and that was very much on purpose, as I wanted to not only dive into Blue Blood as a horrible character, but also directly challenge certain things in the rivalry between him and Spike. And especially, this chapter especially will be hitting so much harder in something else. When I finish this book, when I finish the first Dragon May Cry, I do plan to make an original version of this story. Basically, take out the fanfiction characters, take out the mild references, and replace them with original characters. Because I like writing this story, and I like some of the beats here. In particular, bonus chapter 3 is going to have so much more weight in the original version that I couldn't tackle in this version. There's still a lot of weight in the chapter in general, but there's so much more I could do. Then we get into bonus chapter 4. Seriously, why is every time I try to do this video, it feels like I'm gonna puke? I don't know why. As soon as I stop the video, I'm like perfectly fine. But in the middle of a video, I'm fighting myself. That's why I've recorded this so many freaking times. Anyway, bonus chapter 4. I had to tackle this directly. Spike and Gabby, they are my favorite ship, period. Okay? It used to be Spike and Rarity, then it used to be Spike, Rarity, and Gabby, but the more I go, the more I watch the shows over and over again, the more I just prefer Spike and Gabby. They work so much better in general. So, I had to have a lot of fun with the bonus chapter 4, just on the fact of Gabby picking on Spike for choosing another girl in this fic instead of her. But it also has to deal with commitment issues in this story, okay? It's blatantly in the name, scream her name. Spike can't call Smolder Smolder. He keeps calling her Lady because it's reference to Devil May Cry and how Dante never calls her Mary, he always calls her Lady. And it's essentially me tackling that directly. Why does Dante only call her Lady? I don't think we get a full answer in the games. I'm going to have to replay to find out. But my answer in this book is commitment issues. He can't call Smolder Smolder because it means that he has to say she's more than just special to him. Okay? He wants to keep Smolder on the edging knife of flirting with her, but not full on swinging her down and kissing her because the monster is still there. The monster that killed Rarity. And with Gabby, he already had the relationship with Gabby even before the monster came out with Rarity, okay? That was established in a non-bonus chapter. I think it was, chapter 52, not a bonus chapter, but still really important for the relationship of Spike, Rarity, and Gabby, is that Spike already had a fling going on with Gabby long before he started sleeping with Rarity, okay? So, him being afraid of Gabby would make no sense. Him being afraid of Smolder makes sense because Smolder is still so new to the relationship, okay? And the fact that she's a dragon, Gabby is not. So the dragon side reminds him of how scary and intense you'll see what I mean in one of the oncoming bonus chapters of how much he's afraid of opening up to Smolder because she's a dragon. We get on to bonus chapter 5. Let's see, what was it again? Bonus chapter 5 was probably my biggest chapter by far, 4,000 words. And while the title is pretty on the fucking nose, punch you through the face, and easily my sleaziest chapter with 2 dirty scenes, the biggest reason I did this chapter was 2 reasons. One, Gabby versus Smolder. That was always something in the back of my mind writing these 2 acts, is Gabby fighting Smolder and then them just having a moment, okay? One of the things that often annoy me most in harems, because this is a harem story, there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it, this is a harem story, but one thing that annoys me most about harems is the rivalry between the 2 main girls. And that these 2 girls are fighting over a man instead of trying to go after each other. And that annoys the fuck out of me. Tenchi Muyo. These 2 girls are desperate for a random teenager when they literally have each other. They could literally ignore this teenager and just have each other. Just kick that fucking idiot to the curb and go at it, you princess and demon. I desperately ship those 2. The demon and the princess. Forget Tenchi Muyo. I fucking hate his guts. And this is not me saying that Smolder and Gabby are best ship and our endgame, but I don't mind their relationship in this story, and I'm just having fun with them and their banter and the relationship in this chapter. But there's another reason for this chapter, a bit more subtle a reason I did this chapter, and that's how the elites handled Spike. Okay? We go into the second scene, the more casual relationship between Rarity and Spike. There's no monster or demon coming out to attack her. They're just having a casual night, okay? And the elites are mocking him for it. I literally say civilization. They've got to return to civilization once this moment's over. Because that's what it comes down to. The ponies in this book, before the attack, acknowledged Spike, cared for Spike, but didn't care for dragons. Spike was there living with these ponies for years, but another dragon living there would be terrifying. And then Spike transformed into a monster at the start of this story. And that was basically the ponies giving the excuse of, now we can fucking hate him. I'm sorry, folks, if this sounds political, but Dragon May Cry by design was going to be political because it's a dragon that transformed and then attacked a city. I don't need to change too many words to give a right freak of right a reason to start hating someone, dang it. Bloody hell, this is a poster, a bloody freaking giant poster of saying, yeah, racism exists. And I can't be subtle about it in the slightest when my main character is a dragon and he used to live with ponies, but now the ponies see him as a freak purely because something cracked. And then we get into the most recent bonus chapter. And there's a lot that happened in the most recent bonus chapter. There's a reason why this was the middle ground bonus chapter. I could have had this chapter, this whole Diamond and Button section happen long beforehand. At any time. There's a reason why this section feels so disconnected from the rest of the story, is because I could have had it happen at any moment. I could have had it happen during the south section, during the east section. I could have even had this happen during the west section. But no, I chose to have this be in the middle point of the story because Button and Diamond Tiara are the outside viewers, okay? They're two sides of the racism from the outside, okay? They're the kind of characters that want to hate Spike, but don't have the full details of what happened to Spike. And yet at the same time, they give us a viewpoint that also takes us out of Spike's viewpoint, okay? We know Spike was out of control and he greatly regrets everything that happened. But from Diamond's point of view and Button's point of view, it was a monster that killed their friends in cold blood. That is the point of that scene, is the conflicting emotions of Diamond enjoying the man she got to keep while remembering the people that died so she could keep this man. Apple Bloom is dead. Sweetie Belle is dead. Scootaloo is dead. They died brutally in front of her at the hands of Spike. Okay? Spike was out of control. We know this. We understand this. And yet we are now conflicted since we now see the direct trauma of this monster rather than being told through Twilight, through Blue Blood. And that hurts. That hurts so much. And that's the point of my story. That racism is evil in every way possible, but hatred is so fucking complicated. Okay? They have no right to treat Spike like shit. Yes, that is the point. But also, he transformed, and that was terrifying. But there's also the fact of how this chapter ended. This chapter ended with something I've been trying to hint to and battle with this whole time. Deep down, I knew from beginning to end the bell existed, okay? That was always part of my plan, that a bell activated the transformation. Now, I just have to deal with the conflict in my mind of, does that justify their hatred or unjustify their hatred? Because we know Spike went out of control, but now we know the bell caused it. Does that ruin their hatred or justify their hatred? It leaves things very complicated. And my favorite kind of writing are the ones that leave you complicated. My favorite kind of writings are the ones that leave you conflicted. Reviewers nowadays want a simple answer. Reactors want a simple answer. Watchers, readers, they want a simple answer nowadays. And I fucking hate simple answers. Oh, you want to look at this character and say, oh, they're evil. Oh, they're good. Oh, there was something we missed. Oh, there was an angle that happened. But here's the thing, folks. I might have given you a bell, a target to aim at, and say this is the cause for the entire story. But there's another layer I'm hiding. And when you realize who actually used the bell during that moment, it will still be complicated. Because plot twist, the figure we see at the end of this chapter might be holding the bell now, but he wasn't the one who used the bell on Spike back then. I'm just going to spoil that right off the bat. He wasn't the one that used the bell to transform Spike during that dark event. He has the bell now, and that is a major plot point going forward, especially for the end of the series. Okay? You guys might have figured out who this guy is. I am not being subtle on his description, dang it. Because I won't be tackling him directly in this story. He's not the main villain of this story. This story, the first part of the trilogy, is built on Spike versus Twilight. Okay? The second book is Spike versus someone else. By the time we get to the third book, I'll be flat out saying right up front who this shadowy figure is. And he will be the villain for the final story, obviously. But I still need to lay the groundwork for him existing. And that's kind of why I had this bonus chapter, in fact, this whole button and diamond section in the middle in the first place. This is the middle of the story. This is the middle of the first book. This is the turning point to where things start going even more intense. Okay? After this point, we will be going to the Eastern Dragons. We will be going to the Southern Dragons and the Central Dragons and deeply exploring the conflicting actions on all sides. Ember is a good dragon, obviously. Nidhogg is a bit of a conflicted dragon. He worked for the Sand Emperor, and we're going to be finding out his true connections with the mysterious character, and so on. He's a very conflicted one. But the next one's Echidna and Shiva. Echidna, holy shit. I'm sorry, but Echidna's straight up evil. She just is. I'm going to go ahead and spoil that for you folks. Shiva's a bit more conflicted because, by design, his connections with certain other characters, I can't spoil why. But there will be a lot to deal with in the South section, okay? I might have already laid the groundwork for you guys. You might have already figured it out. I nearly spoiled it in one of the early draft of a previous chapter. But overall, that's what I wanted to talk about with this video, is where the story is going from this point, okay? Summarize. We're in the halfway point of the story. Things are going to start changing. I just showed you guys who the final villain for this trilogy will be. And I revealed that once this first book is done, I'm going to transform it into an original book. I'm going to make an original version of this. Totally separate from My Little Pony and Devil May Cry. Also, let's see, what else did I reveal? I dived into each of the bonus chapters and the extra meaning beyond the filthy, disgusting sex. Each of these bonus chapters gave me a way to look at the characters beyond just boobies and armor and fluffy blah 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 blah. I cannot talk to him. My acid's getting worse. I need to stop this video before I get too far. Overall, I'm glad we're at the halfway point of the story. I'm glad we finally revealed the bell. That part has been bugging me non-friggin' stop. I cannot wait to hear your speculations in the comments, because there's so much more we could still explore, so much more I could still dive into. I need to stop this video before I start puking, because holy shit, why is it every time I try to do this video I am full of acid? Hopefully this is my last attempt.